Yale Review on Yale Radiocast.
You got another scroll. Somebody's scrolling. Like I said, y'all getting all the mail. Y'all getting all the time.
Hold up.
I'm gonna put the stick in the screen for this. Check it out, though.
So for those who don't know, Mark L is polyamorous as he proudly claims every show. Like everybody doesn't already know by now. But let me pose that question to you, Marcus. Does that financially put a little dent in your pocket when you gotta do as I did years ago and try to buy multiple gifts? And I think that has something to do with me. Like, darling, you can't be doing all this, man. Your pockets, man. I can't overexert myself into all these women. Then I go over here and then I gotta tell the chick, well, I got you tomorrow. I got you tomorrow, baby. I got you tomorrow now.
Here's the thing.
That's a lot of energy to exert, brother.
Well, here's the thing.
Look at him put on his glasses before he drops on some poly knowledge.
Yeah. No, put it back on.
The thing is, my brother, what you have to do is your relationship that you have with these people dictates how you move forward as far as gift giving, as far as things that you do. See, we don't lock it down to one day, so I don't have to buy 3 big Valentine's Day gifts all on Valentine's Day. Now, what I can do is throughout the year, I may see you need something. I can send you that. Or I can send you something when I'm thinking about you. I can send stuff to everything. I can send things, my words and the love that we show one another is enough to sustain it. It don't really have to be tied down to a specific day. So as far as splurging, like I'm not dropping like $500. My loves know me. I'm not going to spend that much money all at one time. Now, we talk about into something. That's something completely different, right? So let's say we want to go on a trip. Okay, so I can give you the marker to say, hey, for this particular holiday, I want to give you the gift of this trip that we're going to take at a later time. And then I will go and make sure to make all those arrangements. So there's always a way to work through that. It's not about, I got to do it right now. I hear it right now. That's one of my biggest problems with the holiday in the first place, because it's so commercialized. And then people, if you don't get something on Valentine's Day, you feel not special. I call that bullshit. That's my thing.
So my takeaway from this is you're self-centered with your gift giving. As long as you go on a trip with them, then that is the gift. I think I got it.
I think you've been playing that guitar too hard, sir. That is not what I said at all. But right on, we're gonna let you roll with it.
No, I got you, my brother.
I don't think that's what he was trying to say, T. But boy, you could spin doctor, TR spin doctor.
And for everybody out there that's not used to what we do, we communicate if nothing else. I would say we communicate more than most podcasts I've seen. We actually are brothers. We actually have love for each other, and that's how we're gonna joke with everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I respect this man's lifestyle and who he is because of his respect. So a lot of this stuff is jokes.
Hey, somebody inboxed me and said, why was TR dressed like the 4th member of TLC in the Creep video?
I received that, and I said nothing out but love for it. This is what we do, man. This is what we do. I'm not dressing for you. Hey, whoever said that, I'm not dressing for you anyway. I'm dressing for KR, and she gonna get it. That's what KR.
Oh, snap. That's what I'm talking about. But
we made the joke that Dollar made the joke earlier that hey, you be doing your thing to the women out here, whatever. Yeah, I might do that when I'm single, but I'm gonna tell anybody, Valentine's Day for me from now on until she says different is for my wife, man. I mean, I love that thing, and I'm gonna show that thing that I love it Valentine's Day, and that's all we promoting is be secure enough to be whoever you are in your own body. You know what I'm saying? But be honest. If you're trying to live for everybody out there, you're gonna be confused, man. But live for the people that supporting you and that is your center. That being said, why not we get into insecurities, y'all?
Okay. All right.
With
So
my PLC looking ass.
yeah. So
Yeah.
cutting back, the topic of the show is a man's insecurity, which is a good thing because some of the things that we spoke of kind of play into a man's insecurities. But if you do have a Valentine's story that you want to give, call in 678-586-9241. We want to hear your Valentine's story. What is your horrible Valentine's Day story if you are a man or a woman? I would love to hear some of these stories. Oh my God, I already know. Ladies tuning into the Mill Review right now, I know y'all got a horrible gift story. Better yet, tell me what you got your man that they didn't appreciate. So circling back into the topic is a man's insecurities.
Yes, sir.
Now, I'm gonna tell you where this came from. This is a root of something that Dylan kind of caught. And most of these things, these topics that we all come up with, Rap Analytics, the Male Review, Women in the Mic, and the other shows to come, basically are contributing to things that we see within our society. Mm-hmm. Right. And I see a lot of communication between men and women go back and forth, and it is questioned about what a man is and what a man's responsibilities are.
Right.
And how a man may react when things go a certain way. You know what I'm saying? So what our segment called Checking the Mail, that's what this is.
Yes.
Periodically have to check ourselves as men.
Absolutely.
And sometimes we have to address the fact that we have an ego. We have to address the fact that we do have insecurities because we don't address these enough. And there are numbers of reasons that we don't address this enough. So we want to bring to the forefront some of the insecurities that we may have and why they may be, so that people, especially, once again, I said this earlier, especially as black men, we have some things. Kay Chantel said last week on Women in the Mic, she said the word trauma. Trauma is a big word, 678-586-9240. That word trauma is a big word that we have to dive into with what created the image of the black man and why we are the way we are at this moment. So one of you guys want to lead in with this? Any insecurities that you may have or you may have had that may have developed you into being the person that you are? TR, what you got?
I would have to think about that because I got a lot of insecurities. You know what I'm saying? People think that I'm confident, and my confidence kind of is the first thing that they comment on or whatever, but they don't understand, you know, that I've had a lot of insecurities, man. My looks, you know, just me in general, whatever. I mean, I had to get over myself by understanding that whatever people perceive about me is not necessarily who I am. So I started working on me, because a lot of times you be so caught up in what somebody else is saying, you're not concentrating on what you want to do with yourself, how you want to become a better tomorrow than you are today. So I would have to say my looks. You know, I can't hang a suit now. I will say that. I will say I can hang a suit, and I'm so confident I can wear a suit with flowers in it.
All right, then.
But that's pimping, though. I think that's my size. But
I hear that, brother. Hey,
you know, I see you. Hey, let me go ahead and say this, man. My standard when I'm stepping out with my brother is TR, because we try to outfly each other from time to time, especially when I already know Darling gonna come with it. Let me pull out this fly ass jacket out of it. Damn, that motherfucker TR.
Right. And he's gonna have to bring it. He's gonna have to bring it next show, but guess what?
Hey, next show.
You don't even know what I'm gonna be on the next show. You don't know.
Right. But that's why I try to bring it in the shoe game, though. I'm like, okay, TR might jacket that thing, but let me try to swag the shoes out. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know where we fit each other as men. That may fall into our insecurities or our macho-ness and everything. Mark L, what you got?
I was gonna say, man, hey, listen, male insecurity, it comes in so many forms. One of the things I've always said is that we have huge egos. Men have huge egos, man. And it's just that it's made the thinnest price paper. So there'll be an ego larger than the planet, but it'll be so thin that some of the smallest things can pierce it and break it and mess it up. I think for the most part, one of the things that leads to our insecurity, believe it or not, is how the rest of the world sees us. Like pretty much like
Definitely.
with dressing and you know our look and everything else. I mean, I was just talking to Love the other day about my belly. I was talking to her about how I got this stomach, my T-shirt is out of me, So that means I need to get out here and I need to run, I need to do some sit-ups, I need to do some exercise in order to try to alleviate that problem. That's an insecurity talk. That's all that is. Because, for the most part, this is the body, I grew this body. I got fat, I lost weight, I got fat again. All this stuff is off the body. However, how I present myself to the rest of the world is important. So, like you said, you can hang a suit. I clean up real nice. I like to run the Grizzly Adams look a lot of the times, but I've been kind of trimming my beard up and keeping the head shaved and trying to make sure that I'm presentable so that way, that's something that people don't have to wonder about. I don't have to wonder about whispers. I wonder if they're talking about the fact that my beard ain't together. I wonder if they're talking about my hair getting cut. I wonder if they're talking about my pants not looking right or not hanging right or not hemmed right or however that is. So male insecurity usually does stem from how we think we're perceived in the world. That's my thought.
All right, let me ask you a question, Mark L. Because this, what you've mentioned, is a lot of things that have to do with your appearance.
Yes.
It is your appearance based off of what other people think.
A lot of times, I want to say this. I think for most humans, that includes men or a woman, how we look in society definitely has something to say as far as our self-esteem. We're talking about men right now. I think the way we look is important, depending on the situation. So, for example, if I have a job interview, I'm not going to wear a T-shirt and blue jeans unless I'm interviewing for a job that requires T-shirt blue jeans. I'm going to dress my best because the first impression of how this person sees me is going to let me know whether or not I'm going to go forward with this hiring process, right? Same when I go on a date. I'm not going to dress. I'm going to dress appropriately for the date. If I want to take this lady out to dinner and I know it's a restaurant, I'm going to dress upscale. I'm the one who plans it. I know what kind of dress it is for the restaurant, and so on and so forth. 9 times out of 10, this young lady is going to feel like, oh, you're taking me out of a date. She's not going to put on those sweatpants and those T-shirts and feel a hammer or ponytail. She's probably going to dress her best. She wants to look best for this date, and I want to look my best for this date. So I'm going to dress to what I think she's going to find to her. So as far as doing that, that has a lot to do with kind of outside influences. As far as what the style is, that's an inside job. So, like for example, TR's his use of that jacket that he's wearing today with that suit, that's a personal choice. It may not be your choice. It may not be another guy's choice, but that's a personal choice. He looks good in it. He feels like he looks good in it, so that's what he's going to go with. He knows that he's presenting, at least to himself, hey, this is a cold jacket or this is a cold suit. I'm gonna rock this. When he goes out, he knows he's looking his best. That may not be her forte, but at that point, he really doesn't care. He's gonna wear what he thinks is gonna look best on him. So the personal choice of what to wear is internal. The choice of what we look like to the public, we put this outfit on with the hopes that the public will accept us for what we're wearing or how we're dressed. That's my thought.
I would say that there's nothing wrong, and stemming off of what you just said, my brother. I don't think there's nothing wrong with having a little insecurity. That what keeps you grounded. You understand? You understand what I'm saying? I mean, it's like, okay, everybody has to be told that they're great, and if everybody is great, then who's not great? You know what I'm saying? These are things that we have to wrestle with, but you have to understand, because we're human, we're flawed. So being flawed tomorrow, you should try to be a better you tomorrow than you were today. So you need to look at these insecurities, and you need to be I think people have so many anxieties towards insecurities that they look at the realm of insecurities wrong. I think that these are the things that either we need to know how to deal with. There are some insecurities that are not going to change. We all know this. There's some insecurities that you can't do nothing about. But how do you go your everyday life dealing with those insecurities is a bigger question. And sometimes that makes us lesser people by how we deal with those insecurities.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so that's just from the standpoint of dressing. What about from the standpoint of actual interaction with people? Do we have insecurities surrounding that? Certainly. How many people have ever heard the phrasing of "she's out of my league"? Which I think about, that's an insecurity talking, man. And don't get me wrong, I'm talking about this because I've experienced that. I've experienced this. I've seen young ladies where I look at it and be like, oh man, I don't think I make enough money to talk to her. Or, oh man, the way she looks and the way I look, I don't think so. I don't know if she's in my lane. I might need to stay over here. I might need to hold back and see if there's a way I can fit into her world. If I can't see a way to fit in the world, I can decide, hey, she's out of my league. I know y'all have heard that. Have you dealt with anything like that where you look at somebody? Now I know you two fly brothers. Let me just go ahead and prep the audience. They're gonna both be like, no, never. They out of my league, damn it.
I'm glad you know what my response is.
This dude don't know who he talking to. That's why I dress like I do. Because, like I said previously, those are my insecurities. That's why I present myself like I do, because I want to present myself better sometimes than even how I feel. And sometimes that'll pick me up if somebody says or compliments on what I got on and what I'm wearing. You see what I'm saying? Right. So to me, I'm even bearing my soul to everybody right now and saying that my insecurities run deeper than the perception of how you see me. Even. Right. So
most times they do. They do.
Yeah. So, and that's what I'm saying. There's nothing wrong with it. You don't need to drive yourself crazy by your insecurities. If you feel like you're coming up short, then try to do better. If it's something that you can't champion, then understand this, how you're going to live with it. Don't let these damn things that are your detributes, things that aren't complete or successful or that are an attribute, don't allow them to control your life.
Right. Let me go ahead and say this. I wouldn't say that I've ever thought that any woman was out of my league. If anything, I just thought that they might not have been with what I wanted, because of maybe their status. And I think Mark Ellis was at what he's saying is a woman of a certain look or a certain status.
Right.
I actually see the problems I would have with that woman rather than the expectations of her being out of my league. What I'm saying is she may have a certain financial obligation that I don't meet. Doesn't mean that she's out of my league. It just doesn't mean that we are in the same league.
Right. Okay.
Because I think if I wanted to, I could pull her anyways and just give her what and actually let her know that just because she has this doesn't mean that she's better than anybody. Because you already know certain like celebrity women certain women who think they are celebrities think that I'm only messing with a guy that makes XYZ amount. And if you ain't making XYZ amount, that you aren't good enough for me. And you have the right to think that, ma'am. Yes, you do. But that doesn't mean just because that those are your expectations for a guy that makes that much, that doesn't mean the man that makes that much wants you.
Gotcha.
See what I'm saying? So you need to be careful when you start putting these expectations out of there. Yes, you deserve what you want, but you got to be careful. I want to read this question that just came across the screen, or this comment. Thank you. Shout out to Kevin Norton. If you have no insecurities, you have nothing to build and grow to make yourself you better every day.
Shout out
to y'all. What you want to say about that comment right there?
I'm going to use that comment and what y'all just said on both sides or whatever, because I'm in the middle of that. I do think that as far as there are some women that are out of my league as far as maybe financial or maybe as far as, experience even. And I think that's what Mark L is saying. But on the other hand, I understand what Dolly is saying. You're born, I've always told my kids this. Understand one thing if you don't understand nothing else. Nobody's born better than you, and you're not born better than anybody else.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? So I'm kind of in the middle. That's a two-folded thing or whatever. But Mr. Kevin Norton, nail on the head. Nail on the head. There are these things that are wrong with us need to be improved. The gift of life is, to me, improvement. If you're not improving tomorrow, if you don't plan on improving tomorrow, then you might as well die today, because this is as good as it's gonna get. Okay. If you feel like your journey is downhill tomorrow and it's not gonna get any better than what it is today, you might as well go and slit your wrist, because number one, you don't have anything to get a world. You don't have anything left because you feel like you're as good as you're going to get.
Let me go ahead and follow up with this next comment from Miss Phoenix with Triple X, the Triple X bird. Kevin Samuels Jr., is that in relation to me? Ma'am, I've been doing this longer than that guy. If anything, he's dialing Yale Jr. But shout out to him. I see where she would come up with that comment, being that if you really date back to some of the things that Kevin Samuels was saying months ago to the young lady who said she wanted a man that makes this much and makes this much and makes this much. Right. And he said, you don't meet the standards. I've always said that. I've always said that you need to be careful, not saying that you do not deserve to have standards. Everybody deserves to have a standard. But peep this. Let's just put this in perspective when it relates to women. You want a man that makes this much and makes this much and looks this way and looks this way. Let's just say across the board, no questions asked whatsoever, a man's standard is that you are shaped like this and you're able to cook. How many women would that knock out the window?
Wait.
I'm just saying.
Right.
You are a great woman. You are an outstanding woman across the board. Your only transgression, your only problem is you just may be bigger. As we've heard today, TR, some women are bigger. Women come in different shapes and sizes, right? Men do as well. Everybody comes in a different shape and size. But let's just say across the board, just like for the most part, we know this ain't everybody. Now this 2021. You already know women hold men to a standard financially, okay?
Correct.
Okay, let's just say men hold women to a standard physically. Now we got a problem. Okay. Because you shouldn't judge my shape. What do I look like as a man saying you shouldn't judge my wallet?
Right.
I would say even more so than wallet, more so than financially. We can't even leave you getting mugged. We have to protect you and put our life on the line. We can't even leave you getting mugged. So we have to be protectors and financial supporters. So it goes beyond, to me, just one facet, man. Come on, man. Come on, y'all don't really want it today, man, because I give it to you.
Listen, but listen, on the reverse, this is the thing. You got to understand that some women don't need you to financially support them, right?
Correct.
True. Hold it before you go in. Now, the thing about it is, I know that the ladies wouldn't like to have to use their financial means to do anything.
Hell, but some men don't want to have to use their muscles.
Here we go.
Listen here.
We already know who this is, fellas. Come on, man. You already knew she was going to call in with this. Spicy.
You always coming. What's up, fellas?
Yo, what's going on?
Say this shit real quick. Y'all have the right, just like a woman, you have the right to choose what you like. If you like a certain type of woman to fit a certain type of bill, to look a certain type of way, that's your choice. That's what we have. We got a thing called choice. We have a choice to do whatever we choose to do.
True. Okay. True. We agree. Right. We aren't disagreeing, Spicy, at all.
Okay. So at the same time, men, while y'all saying that women have to learn to choose, no, if we want a certain type of man to be a certain type of way, that's what we want. If she want a man that's 20 figures, making 18, hey, that's what she making. If a man want her because she making less, that's their choice.
Spicy.
I don't cook, but I ain't got no complaints about me not cooking because everything else about me is 100.
I don't clean.
Spicy. And I think you totally missed the point. You missed the point.
Okay.
The point that
The
point I was relaying is everybody's held to a certain standard, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We want a man to provide, protect, straight up, loyalty, all that. That's what women look for.
Correct. And right. Now, with that said, you hold a man to that standard. You hold a man to that standard, don't you?
I expect the man to do, yes. I expect
all right.
to provide, to protect. Yeah.
Now, if he is not able to meet most of those standards, you start to give him labels. Let's just go with the most. No, don't. You know goddamn well if he's not working, sleeping on your couch, he's a fuck boy. He's okay if he has good penis, but if he's on your couch without good penis, he ain't shit. Yeah. Okay, so what I'm saying is, whoa, you called because you called in. I was just called Kevin Samuels Jr. Whoa, let me finish. Let me finish. Okay, so now with that said, what if men, because men have standards, right? But we don't have labels for women who don't uphold to a man's standards. Listen. We just say, damn, she's not a good woman. We ain't never said a woman ain't a good woman because she don't cook. We just say, hey, we wish y'all would. The only time a woman isn't called a good woman, the only spicy.
No. You asking my opinion. You forgot. I do hang with niggas majority of the time. 99.9% of the time I hang with males. So, come on, because I've been told you act like a nigga. So, with that being said, being around a lot of men, and I'm not talking about just fuck boys, I'm talking about men. I didn't listen to men say, shit, I have a good woman, but that bitch ain't shit because she doesn't do, that motherfucker don't know how to do finances. This bitch don't know how to clean up. Oh, yeah.
Cool. So Spicy, listen. So Spicy, listen.
No, you asked the question.
No, I'm agreeing with you.
Okay.
That's literally what I'm saying. If we were to hold you to Spicy, what I said was, if we was to literally hold you to standards to the most minute shit, some of y'all wouldn't even meet the expectations because of minute shit.
But guess what? And guess at the end of the day, when you choose a woman and you with that woman, you know up front, because a lot of times a real woman up front gonna tell you what she's not good at, what she's not going to do. Because you have women that goes into relationships and say, hey, guess what? I'm not working.
Okay.
I'm not having no kids.
Right.
I'm not working out. I'm not doing this. Just like you women have men that she get with, and she know when she started dating him, he ain't shit because she got with him when he had a woman, when he had a situationship. So when you got with him, you thought you was going to be able to change him? No, you got what you got because that's what you wanted.
Okay, now with that said, you saying we know what we get. How many times y'all women got with a man that didn't have a job already, or didn't have this, or didn't have XYZ already, and all he gave you was some penis, and you said, you know what, girl, I could work with that. I'm gonna try to upgrade him. You already didn't see already that he wasn't shit, and then you get mad when he doesn't upgrade, and then you said, right? Do y'all not do that?
Yeah. I just said that.
Okay.
I just literally just said that. We know what we getting into, men and women. Trust and believe. You know what you walking yourself into unless you walking into some shit really, really blind. And that's probably 5% of the time.
Come on, Spice.
95% of the time, you know what the hell you walking your ass into.
TR got something he want to say. TR is steaming over here. Go ahead, TR.
You never meet who that person really is, man. I disagree with that whole idea. You always meet their representative. You meet a nice person that is trying to give you the best version of what they think that you want and what they think that they're going to offer.
Hold on,
let me tell you to take it slow and experience these things.
And let me say something to that, TR. We got a show that's up on RTV where we was at TR's birthday last year, where women was talking about we meet y'all representative. Go ahead, continue, T.
I'm just simply saying that, you know, Spicy is a very smart, intelligent young lady. She is a very smart person or whatever, and that's the one thing that we talked about. We can't retract on that. We all agreed that we meet representatives. We all agreed on that. So if you don't know that person until you start seeing the worst version. Look, I'm gonna tell you right now, Phoenix did not see the true a-hole Dialing until she was with him for a little bit. He had to get her in, just like a spider web. He had to suck her in first, and then she met that true asshole that she's dealing with right now.
It wasn't the spider web that sucked her in.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Shout out to my sister Phoenix. You see, she said yes. Love her. Love her.
It might have been a web shooter.
Right.
Spicy got one more comment. Go ahead and continue with what you were saying, TR.
No, I just want to know. I was done. I want to hear from what my sister got to say, because all of these people are intelligent, and this is an intelligent conversation that needs to be had.
Okay, like we said, at your party, this person, I'm that person, men and women, they put on a good front. That's what they do 24/7. But again, as I was saying, when you that person and you start spending some QT with that person, they is going to show you eventually their true nature. It's going to come within a couple of weeks, a couple of months. Oh, it's going to come before you say, hey, baby, move in. It's going to come after you give her that good ping or you get that good bye-bye coochie and your ass becomes crazy.
A hot box. Mark L.
See their true nature.
Okay, hold up, Spicy. Okay, Mark L, what do you got to say to that?
Listen, let me say this. We all will meet the representative. Somebody gonna drop something hot on somebody else. Everything is gonna change from there. Now, I'm gonna disagree. I'm pretty sure that Phoenix saw who Dialing was from the beginning. Cause see, when you first meet Dialing, he already 100. Already 100.
There's the comment right there, Mark L.
Exactly. She know from the jump who this man is. His representative is in order to try to protect everybody else's innocence. You see what I'm saying? I'm gonna put the asshole forward first, so you know what you're dealing with. Okay, so I commend the man on that. I'm gonna say that his representative is what he puts out is built to help people to goddamn filter through and determine if they're gonna be able to deal. Okay, now if you get past that part, then you might be able to survive. Either that or you addicted to assholes, and that could go either way. But all I got to say is
survive.
I'm just saying, listen, you always are going to meet the representative, and that's the case. And it takes a little while before you meet the actual person. This is usually true. However, the reason that happens is because of pretty much what we're talking about, the insecurities, right? You don't want people to know your shitty behaviors right at the beginning. You don't want them to know things about you, like, I'm just making up stuff. Like you wear your underwear twice a week because you flip them inside out. You don't want nobody to know that off rip, because of course that's a little bit frowned upon. Let's just say, okay. Needless to say, if you roll that way, you kind of keep that tucked in because it's an insecurity, all right? Because it's an insecurity. This is why we have representatives. The representatives are who we believe our best selves to be, right? That's who we believe we are when we show the representative. The whole thing with that is you can't maintain that forever. Eventually, the representative is going to crumble. Eventually, it's going to come out that this person, I don't know, like sugar and grits. You see what I'm saying? Eventually that representative is going to come out. And that is what people hide from by putting a representative up. That's what people hide from. That's where the insecurity lies. It's underneath that representative. Does that make sense? Hello? Anybody? Hello? Well, maybe it's just me. So
Yeah, Spicy Mark L was just saying you get bits and pieces of the representative is what he's saying.
Yes.
Yes. Everybody may give you the representative, but it's only to get you prepared for who you are going to have to deal with. Or they may actually, as he said about me, I'm gonna show you the harsh dialing so it can prepare you for what you got to deal with. Now I know this, Spicy. I know this. Because I've told you my stories of what I've told ladies. I've told them straight up that they've asked, would you ever cheat on me? I said, I probably would. Is that a representative or was that letting them know like, hey, I'm a whole hoe out here in these streets. You deal with me if you want to. Is that a representative?
But it all depends on how you brought that to the table. Come on, D.
I mean, she asked me would I cheat on her. I said I probably would.
Let me answer.
Go ahead.
Let me answer. You asked me a question. Let me answer. Because even with that being said, it's probably how you said it. Because sometimes you can say shit and it can be like, oh, he's just joking. And sometimes you can say shit that makes people really think that you're an asshole. Because a lot of times you don't bring your assholism to the front line. A lot of times it's just how your delivery is some shit, and then you be like, all right, I ain't gonna go that fucking hard because they ain't gonna be able to take it. They might run over there and jump off the cliff.
Right.
Sometimes it's not how it's so I can tell people straight up, look, this is what I'm not gonna do. I don't like your kids. I don't like kids. People be like, men be like, oh, Spicy, you tripping, you like kids. And then when you start dealing with me, I'm about to bring my kids around. No, the hell you ain't. I don't like kids.
But you got 13 of them. But go ahead.
Right. And I got 13 kids and 44 grandchildren. But at the end of the day, if I don't want your child at my house, but I told you this up front, I'm not about to kick it with you and have to deal with little spank running around my goddamn house breaking shit. I don't want your child at my house. That's my choice. I don't want spank up here. You can't get mad because I told you I don't want little spank up in the beginning.
Right.
But people be like, oh, you tripping, you love kids, you got kids and grandkids. Your point is they mine. It's not yours. So I don't have to deal with yours, just don't have to deal with mine.
All right, so Spicy, let me ask you this question before we get you off the line. What is your most horrible Valentine's Day story? And then get out of here. Because we got a show. What's your horrible Valentine's Day story, Spicy?
When somebody had the nerve to try to force me to cook them something to eat for Valentine's, so I burned everything and put it in a hard plate and served it to them and made them eat it.
So wait, so you crashed your own about you on a horrible story.
Yeah, she is the horrible story. And she's trying to put it on him.
She a horrible story.
I sure did. Happy Valentine's.
Thank you, Spicy.
All right, guys. Y'all enjoy the show.
Thank you, darling.
Good show.
Spicy is the horrible story and said it was his fault for her being the horrible story. Go ahead, T.R. What was you saying?
I was just gonna say, now that is Spicy. Y'all can see her on Women in the Mic. They just went off them, our sisters. Y'all support them. You know, they have some crazy conversations. If y'all want to tune in and listen to some of them crazy conversations, because it was crazy today. It was a barn burner today. So yeah.
Terrible news. Lord have mercy.
It was a barn burner. So we got anything before we go on break, man? Anything that because we want to circle in why we have these traumas and these issues. I think that's what we need to kind of dive into. What has made us insecure in these certain fields as men? I know some of the hey, hold on. Shout out to Kevin Norton. He hanging out with us. He said, how you can't cook and you gonna blame it on the dude? Because that's what women do. That's what women do. That's what women do.
Made her have a horrible time because she couldn't cook.
Right.
Yeah. How dare you ask me to do something for you, motherfucker?
How
That's
dare
not how none of this works.
That's terrible news. That's terrible news.
Hey, Mark, go ahead and give us something before we go to commercial.
Point of wasting no food. Don't burn it up. That's some bullshit. Just say no and let's go with that. I get a burger. I know how to feed my damn self.
This is Dylan Yale, the program director of Yale Entertainment and Yale Radiocast. If you feel like you're the person to talk about politics, sports, entertainment, and more, Yale Radiocast is giving opportunities to those who are interested in a career in podcasting. We are now being heard by over 20 streaming platforms, including iHeartRadio, Pandora Music, Amazon Music, Apple Podcast, and more. Let Yale Radiocast be the brand that delivers your voice to the world. Contact us at YaleRadiocast.com or email us at yaleent1@gmail.com. The Yale brand is the gold standard, and this is Yale Radiocast. Get the business.
Hey, thank you for tuning in to Yale Radiocast. Listen, business owners, people that are entrepreneurial in spirit and need to get their business out there, contact Yale Entertainment. We will advertise your company. We will advertise your brands with a listener base that covers the globe. We offer a variety of packages at affordable prices. Call us at 678-586-9241. If you need to email us, you can contact us at yaleent1@gmail.com. If you need to get your business out there, contact Yale Entertainment to get the business.
Hey, it's your girl Tiki. Please be sure to check out Women of Mike. We discuss a little bit of everything from men that ain't to women that do anything for a piece of.
Let's get deep about this. What if your girlfriend is the type of chick that every dude she dated give her body to, she claims that's her man, when he claims it's just a situation?
Boy, that 350. That's the rollback. So what he do? Hold on, baby. Let me get this loose chain out the car. Ain't gonna hit you with. Here you go, baby girl. Yeah, she gonna still be calling him Mr. Clifford. I gave with a 23.
But yeah, check us out Saturday from 11 to 1 and Wednesday from 7 to 9. Tune in to Women in the Mic.
Your boy Young Nino checking in, man.
What's going on? This your boy Ether.
This presidential worthy, vote for me. Rap Analytics, man. We up in here.
Check us out every Tuesday and Thursday, 9 p.m. on YaleRadiocast.com.
You want your perspective, we're going to give you ours.
Man, if you into this hip-hop culture, we got all the information you need.
We're going to be breaking down everything from old school to new school, battle rap, fashion.
Anything that has to revolve around hip-hop, we're going to bring it to you from today's perspective for what's popping in the news right now. Hip-hop, rap analytics go hand in hand.
Rap Analytics, YaleRadiocast.com, baby.
When shit get bent out of shape, it's so I gotta get this dough, but the money never take my soul. Because I'm on another whole level that I don't think you niggas ready for. Patiently waiting like 50 and Eminem, exploding all on this track. The detonator's my pen, it won't be no turning back. I'm headed straight for the win, never will I relax, cause giving up is a sin. Keep my foot on their neck is how I'm breaking them in. So I ain't throwing no shades like fitties without a brim. The water is shark infested, but better know I'ma swim. And know my heart and regretting the damage I'm putting in. I'm grabbing the microphone and raising my right hand, cause nigga, this we the truth. So lying ain't in the plan, just know when I hit the booth, I'm trying to gain a fan. Say what it do in Atlanta, Konnichiwa to Japan. So if you ain't got no fingers, you can't touch it. And if you ain't no running back, you can't rush it. And no, I ain't handicapped, I can't clutch it. But when life starts shifting them gears, I'm gon' clutch it. They wanna hear me flow, so I'm spitting like it's all I know. I guarantee you never seen this flow when I get my foot up in that dough. I gotta get this dough, but the money never take my soul. Because I'm on another whole level that I don't think you niggas ready for.
K Lockin, baby, the last video that was played or whatever. I don't know if you're gonna add this in and delete it out, but that's my guy. Y'all mess with him. That's little nephew right there.
Yeah.
Put 5 on pump 3. Mr. Put 5 on pump 3.
But spend 10 on weed. This kind of fucked up, but that was just some shit I ain't need. That's okay. So I'm not dealing with Mark L. So back from a commercial break. This is the Male Review on Yale Radiocast. Thank you everybody for tuning in. We want you to call in with this topic, man. 678-586-9241 and give us your opinions on Male insecurities. What are the causes of them? What has created them? I've always said that us as black men in particular, because we have a forum of black men, and shout out to Josh Intern, are our substitutedly melanated brother. He's a melanated substitute. We allow him into the cookout, as they say. We allow Josh the Intern to the cookout. Shoot, hey, he's the guy on the grill, to be honest with you.
Actually, yeah, he get down on the grill.
So, but as it pertains to us brothers right here on this platform, I know what we always conflict with is the expectation of the man in this world society. And then you add on to that we are black men that's fighting an extra fight of equality and what I would say the stipulations of this country may have for us, the American dream, as you call it, the standard, as you call it. Now, I will say this: how can you actually meet these standards when we are purposely held back because of our race, because of where we come from? Now, with this said, you got three brothers on this platform who have served in every branch of the military.
Yes.
So we've been very, very supportive of the rules and the lifestyle and the relations of this country. So this isn't a platform of three men that say, oh, we hate America and we don't abide by the rules of America. No, this is three brothers you have on the platform that say, hey, we embrace what America is. Let us in the door, though.
Right.
That's the thing. Mark Yale, what you got to say?
Hey, man, listen. Pretty much like just capping off what you said. Hey, look. We've been around the horn a minute, okay? We've seen the way this world operates, right? We're here in order to try to make this a better place, right? This is what we're here for.
Can we get your face in the camera, brother?
You can't see me?
We got you. We got you from beard up. There you go.
Okay, yeah, I need to get the beard in there for the ladies that like the beard. But we're here. I mean, we're here to try to make this a better place for everybody, right? The funny part about it is when we talk about insecurities, let's talk about what it's like to lead house every day. Okay, let's talk about the conversations that we have to have with our children when they leave the house. It's funny that we look at insecurity, we look at personal insecurity, but life insecurity is probably one of the major pieces. It's one of the major parts of what we deal with on a daily basis, because you don't know from one day to the next if you're gonna make it back in. And that's the honest to God truth. With the way society has been going and with the way things have been happening in the world, you kind of have an insecurity about making it back in at night. The bad part is when you have children, when you have minor children, especially if you have male children, black male children specifically, the insecurity that you have is for their safety to make it in. So you try to give them all the lessons, right? That's what I got for you. I mean, that's a major piece for me because I have two sons. I have one that's 18, about to be 19. I have one that is 23, about to be 24. I mean, listen, you want to talk about insecure? I always want to know where these brothers are. Hey, what you doing? Who you with? Who are your friends? I didn't understand that at their age, why my mother wanted to know such things. I see now as a father why.
I would say my insecurities have always stemmed from being good enough. One of the biggest fights that I've had to fight is the financial bar. And once again, our position as black men, as men, throw black men out of it, but as men, as you said, Mark L, being the leaders of the household, and every day, I think I might have said this on the Women in the Mic show last week or the week before that. do we have a chance to actually fail as men before that woman starts to doubt us, before society starts to doubt us, before family and friends start to doubt us? And that's been my biggest insecurity. I'm scared to be a failure. Now, I would admit for years I have been a failure by way of my own expectations for myself. And that has probably created a world where I didn't want to deal with certain things. I didn't want to commit to a woman because I did not feel like I was financially stable enough to be whatever that woman needs. That's what a lot of women don't understand. Like Spicy said, women are honest. Men at times, depending on where that man is, can be very honest. A lot of times men say, I ain't ready for a relationship. We don't go into the reasons why. We just leave it flat out. I'm not ready for a relationship, baby. You know what I'm saying? I just say, and women, because that's who we gear ourselves for the most part. 2021, you never know these days. Anyways.
Or a woman.
We gear ourselves professionally, worldly for women, right? So when we say I'm not ready for a relationship, they take it as we just want to mess around, we just want to screw around, we just want to play out in the streets. A lot of times that may be true, but we still want to play in the streets because we're not ready to play in the house. Seriously. Are you really ready for me to be a leader when I'm not ready to be a leader? And I know my biggest thing is the bar of society to be a man. What society says a man's supposed to pay all the bills. That's not the position I ever fell in, where I could, even if I made $100,000, $200,000, I didn't fall in that bar.
Right.
$300,000. Hell, you can give me 50 million. I don't fall in that bar. So my insecurity has been, can I meet this woman on a level where we can agree? If I can't, maybe the world is like this and I don't meet that standard. What you got? Did one of y'all guys got something?
I would say it's hard. I would say that's the number one thing. If I could say 2 words to sum up the way that I feel about these insecurities and what do I do about them and how do I go about my everyday, I would have to say it's hard. Meaning that if you don't accept the idea that it's hard and you either got to go through it or not, then you're going to forever be giving yourself excuses. And those excuses, are you trying to exonerate your efforts or are you really trying to explain? A lot of people don't do anything more than just setting themselves up to be lazy when it comes to the plan of attack, the game of attacking. You know, let's just give it to the males. There's a lot of y'all dudes that are coming short, that are falling short. And that's just what it is. I know more dudes that are given the excuse of why they're not succeeding than actually the efforts that they need to apply to try to succeed. Seems like they're a lot more busy explaining themselves instead of applying themselves. Now,
well, let me ask this, TR. Let me ask you this. These men that we're talking about that definitely have these excuses. Do you think it's more of a thing where they didn't learn this because they had the opportunity to learn and they just opted to not learn it? Or is this something that they were unable to learn based on their life situation? Because, you know, I'm not one for making an excuse for anything, but we do know some of us come from disadvantaged backgrounds where maybe there wasn't a father or a male figure or someone you can look up to where you would learn these things. You see what I'm saying? This kind of goes back to the conversations that we always have about people saying what men think or what men supposed to do and what men should do. What if they didn't have that opportunity, or what if they should have waited that opportunity? Do we have some sort of division between the people who actually didn't get that opportunity to learn it and the people who did get the opportunity and just opted to not learn it? Because a lot like what Dada was saying, you're not playing in the house. You playing in the streets because you're not ready to play in the house. What if you didn't learn how to maintain a household? What if you came from a single parent background?
Right.
What if you came from a background where you might have been an orphan? You might have been, you might have been in adoption agency.
Once again, Markel, that's where I was going to, brother. That's where a lot of these insecurities stem from, is because what we don't know that we are expected to know. You know how hard it is for a man, for a woman to tell you to be a leader. Listen to this, ladies. But since you hated the baby daddy, you didn't allow him to be in a child's life. Or, let me go to the flip side, because that man was a F-boy, he decided not to be in that child's life. Right. I'm just saying the trauma of it. It's different reasons that man isn't there. That man could have got killed, or he could have died early. But my brother, my son, whoever it may be, my friend, didn't have this father figure to teach him how to lead. But the societal rules have not changed. Okay? The rules never changed. And said, you know what? Men are supposed to be men, except for if this is the situation.
Right.
And now knowing I don't know some things, and I'm out here in the world trying to say, hey, but the world is telling me, nah, nigga, you don't get a butt. But see, what happened was, nah, nigga, you don't get a what happened was. You have to figure this out.
Yeah,
and that's where a lot of the insecurities that I feel I have come from, because no matter what my situation, I have always had to figure it out. And in that figuring out process, I knew, okay, I can't do this. Even in the I can't do this, I got judged by the I can't do this. Hey, we could get together, but I can't pay all this rent. Oh, you ain't a real man.
Well,
you know what? Then I don't want this relationship. Well, if you don't want this relationship, you ain't a real man. What more do you want from me? I feel like Tyrese got there.
Well, I don't know if I'm on mute yet, but let me say this. Answering Markel's question, because I think it was to me or whatever. So I'll respond to Markel's question. Is I understand what you're saying as far as whether it's ignorance or stupidity. I'll say that to say this. As hard as it was for a man to step up, or my father to step up, which he did not, it was even harder for my mother to raise 7 kids. So in your inconsiderateness, understand that just like when a cop pulls you over, ignorance doesn't exonerate you. If you can claim you don't know the law all day long, but it doesn't exonerate you. So when you're a man out here trying to sit up here and play, you got to understand certain play situations, certain play dates set up for office conversations. So you can't be out there in the dugout or in the play pit, all day long and expect to have no repercussions or consequences.
Okay.
So I'm saying that whether it's ignorance or stupidity, you have enough of both men around to gear you in the right direction. So, and I'm not saying all, because you have extraordinary men. Hell, Darling knows we had this conversation. No matter whether I agree or disagree, we have a circle of extraordinary men that we talk to on a daily basis. So you have the idea of that you don't have to look at this one failure to be your guide. You can look at this other cat that's doing his thing. You can look at Darling Yale from Yale Entertainment, looking at he has his own business. So the responsibleness of it is he had to get off his ass and start a business. So to say that we're all going to lay behind the idea of ignorance doesn't exonerate, and it doesn't explain away.
Gotcha.
Go ahead and TR and read the comment that Mr. Kevin Norton, shout out to Kev, signing in with us again. Read that comment, TR, and what do you feel about it?
Once again, Mr. Kevin Norton, even starting the conversation, man. We love you. We love your comments. Keep on commenting. Call in. And it states as such, we as men have to stop making excuses for each other. We as adults know what we need to do. We will never know what women want. Hell, they don't know what they want. But we know we need to be a father, and salute, because that's what I'm saying. I mean, you know, and I'm not saying that you can't have the excuse. Sometimes we're screwing up and we know we need to do better, but understand that it's still a screw up. Nobody, I'm not gonna pat you on the back when you're screwing up, even though I might say, hey man, you know, let me help you up. I might give you a hand up, but that doesn't exonerate your screw up. Get out of your feelings, get off your ass, and apply yourself.
Okay, so TR, what has been your biggest fight with probably the insecurities that you might have had? I know you said something about your appearance and you probably felt like however you look, but I know, brother, that wasn't your biggest fight to prove that you're a man, your appearance, because we've said we don't care. We at this point have acknowledged the fact that we are not the most attractive, but we made it work, right? But what is your biggest personal fight that you knew kind of like created this ideal that TR has to be a better man? What did you see that said, that molded you as far as the insecurity and say, I can't do it like this, because if I do it like I'm scared to do it like this, or I might have to do it like this, or me doing it like this means, damn, I'm not a good guy. You see what I'm saying?
Right. And this may be a shocker to the whole entire world when I say this, because you got to put it in perspective. My insecurities was my kids. When my kids were born, I didn't know whether I was a good father or fatherly enough with my emotions, with my love, with my feelings. I did not know financially whether I was going to be a good father. It doesn't even convey to them, because I bet you could ask them and they would have no clue that I felt like this. But when I accepted the role of being a father, I think I was very insecure. I think that those things were at its highest height. And that's what I think women need to understand, that there's a lot of men out there like me, that you're insecure with the idea of, are you fatherly enough? Or are you going to be the best father, especially when you came from the idea of my situation, of what my father's dynamic was in my world, which was basically non-existent or whatever, that you have a high level of expectations for yourself. And you're looking at Bill Cosby, you're looking at James Evans, and you're looking at all these fathers on TV or whatever, and you're kind of wondering, and the anxiety's getting to you, and your ambitions are bothering you, and the whole 9 yards. So yeah, I would have to say, being a father, when my kids was born and when they were being raised, I always questioned myself.
Let me chime in on that before I get to Markel and his opinion. I would say one of the most proudest moments for me, because since my dad wasn't there, I had to go off exactly what you were saying to y'all, the examples of fathers that we grew up watching. If our father wasn't there, the James Evans, and there was a test that was put out on Facebook that said, what type of father are you? And I shared this with my son, and he said it had James Evans, and it had Fury Styles, and it had, like, I forgot who was it was the father from Family Matters. And he said that you remind me of Fury Styles. Yeah. And that was a proud moment for me, because that's who I've always tried to emulate as a father. Like, growing up watching Boys in the Hood, I said Fury Styles is who I wanted to be. Mm-hmm. Put down the motherfucking gun, Trey, making sure that I kept my son out these motherfucking streets. Make sure that I kept my son on the straight and narrow. Making sure that he understood how this world operated. That was one of my biggest insecurities, like, especially like having custody of him for a while. I didn't have the role model, so I had to create the role model. I had to become the role model. And my insecurity was, is it impactful enough? So when he said that, boy, I shared that shit. Look what my son said, y'all. Goddamn. Look what Devin said, y'all.
Right on.
Markel, what you got, man?
Hey, man, listen. That's what it's about, right? Any insecurity that you had prior to having children, it changes once you get kids. I mean, it absolutely does. I mean, you don't have time to worry about too much of that anymore, any of that personal stuff. What you worry about now is that your progeny, the children that you brought into the world, are, good citizens. They're contributors to society, and that they live. You want to make sure that you give them all the knowledge you have. Similar to your situation. My father passed at an early age. I was 13, 14 when my dad passed away. My mother did get remarried, and so she did. There was a male figure in the home, but I didn't want to be anything like this dude. This dude was, for lack of better phrasing, he was an alcoholic, okay? And he wasn't the cool kind of alcoholic. He was one of the mean alcoholics. I didn't want to be. That probably led to me not being as heavy a drinker as, a lot of my friends turned into, a lot of people turned into over time.
I feel attacked.
So, hey, but what I did learn, the funny thing about it is, and this is something that kids will pick up, what I did learn is who I did not want to be. And I learned who I did not want my progeny to be. And so therefore, that was how I used it. So the role models that I had around me, the little bit of time that I had with my blood father, the little things that I learned from this dude of what I didn't want to be, and I ain't gonna lie, some of the stuff I learned of what I needed to be in order to be the best possible man in the world and to be the best possible father. But once you get kids, man, a lot of that stuff goes out the door. Now my job is to make sure to usher you into adulthood. That is a fact. Just like Brother Kevin Norton said, hey, you need to be a father. You may not know how to do that, but you're going to do your best. And you have to create the role models. You have to create the pieces. You have to take some, I have to take some Cosby Show. Before Bill Cosby became persona non grata, Bill Cosby was the ultimate, that was America's dad, right? White folks like Bill Cosby. See what I'm saying? So before all the personal shit got involved, you took some Cosby Show, and you took some James Evans, and you took some Carl Winslow, and you took a little bit of all of that in order to try to create this world for these children in order to help usher them into adulthood. That's what we do. That's what we do best.
But did it create anxiety? Did it create anxiety in you? And if so, how much? Because I know it created a lot. Compared to my anxieties in the past, this was one of the most memorable anxiety moments that I had. So how did you feel?
Well, shoot, primarily, dude, as far as anxiety, yeah, absolutely. You're going to have that anxiety. You're going to absolutely have that anxiety. Because what you're going to always wonder is the whisper that you hear in the back of your head that says, are you doing this right? Are you teaching them the right things? Are these things going to really help them? Are you going in the right direction? Yes, you have plenty of anxiety around that, especially being a father, man. You have a lot of it. And I mean, mothers have the same kind of anxiety. I have no doubt they wonder too. But as a father, especially, and then like Darlin has pointed out before, being men in this world and all of the expectations that society points upon men in general, you got a lot of pressure. You got a ton of pressure to make sure that you do this right. And you do your best. Hey, we mess up. This is true. But you recover.
And I want to go back to that. I want to go on to the fact of messing up. That's probably one of our biggest insecurities is messing up. I said earlier because we have a very low bar to mess up, but we have the biggest wall to climb. And that's a hard thing. That will make you scared to actually be a man you're supposed to be. Because why would you even play in the game if you know you can't win the game? I definitely know that looking back, it's like, do I want to even try to do that? Do I want to marriage? Do I even want to try marriage if I failed at marriage before? Do I even want to try to be this? Because the second I don't, I said this, I think I said this earlier. I said this, like, do we have a chance to fail? Because once we fail once, we are a failure eternally to a lot of people. I know some. Go ahead, TR. What you trying to say?
No, I was just gonna say I agree, brother. I agree with everything you just saying just then.
Yeah, because it's hard. Like, I mean, I know brothers who have went to jail and came out to be businessmen. I know brothers who have done so much and came out, to do better or strive to do better. But since we have this wall that's higher than a usual wall, sometimes we give up easily because we already know how we're about to get treated. I already know what I was told the second I lost a job. Like, damn, I ain't supposed to lose a job. Damn, I can't lose a job.
It's funny. It feels like you're not afforded the same luxuries as other people. People lose jobs. People get fired. People mess up. I've done it. I've talked about it. People mess up. You might, you was late one too many times. You lost a job. You don't do you lay there? You can't, as a man, lay there and lament and whine and complain. You got to get on the grind. You lost your job today. What's wrong with you tomorrow? You get up, go look for another job. That's just what you expect. You're not expected to sit there and rest in that and whine and complain and try to figure it out and call your friends and try to work through it mentally. No. You don't have time as a man. As a man, you got to get your ass up, go get you another job. Period.
As far as all our conversations, I really understand it more now the way Dylan explained it about the man's take and the point of view and the whole 9 yards. And we need to understand this one thing. We are more scared than we ever want to fucking admit. And this is just being honest. I identify with Dylan because in the moment I have been that guy. I have been that dude to say to myself the same thing that Dylan just said. And listen to me. If you don't, just rewind it so he can say his words again. Brother, you have opened my eyes because you're not telling me the ideas of what I'm saying that we all need to get off our ass and do better. And that's understood. But the fear of failure, the way that people see us, it does tear us down. And I think that don't enough people understand the sentiment the way as I just understood it when it came out my brother's mouth. So I feel you, and I will say that I have absolutely saw like through a door that was kind of closed with just that statement because I get it now. And I do have more compassion with just that one statement than I have in a long time. Because Dylan, no, he described me as that guy in the gym that's on steroids and spotting everybody. And I'm sitting up here yelling at everybody because they ain't listening to what I'm listening. And I get it. I get it because it's not the idea of matching me as much as it is what if you fail in comparison. And how you feel about everybody else seeing you work out and you being an embarrassment because you failed in comparison. So I get that, my brother. This is what this is about. So what do we do with this now? The sentiment is y'all don't even understand how scared we are as men on our everyday basis.
Yeah, I will say that once again, this is to get the world to understand men and the men to understand men, because nobody ever knows what the next person is dealing with trauma-based issues. You know what I'm saying? Like to kind of fall back and say, all right, instead of me coming so hard on this person, man or woman or child, let me see what it is that they're dealing with, because it may be something that I'm adapted for, I'm created for. Just like Kevin Norton just said, the only wall that any of us have is the wall that we created in our minds. I can agree with you that to a certain position, Brother Kevin, but some of us have walls that are created for us. Women have walls that's created for them. Men in general, white or black, have walls that's created for them that we have to meet that we aren't prepared to meet at times. Some things that financially are some things that I might not be taught financially. Let's just go into the idea of, I shouted you out a few weeks ago, Brother Kevin, and you are the guy that got me into the stock market. Now, that is something that's kind of taught within certain households. All right. So y'all know how to play with money a little bit differently, right? So us that don't, we don't understand that. That's a wall for us that we don't know. So what I'm saying is, it's a wall that is created because we haven't been given the knowledge and the understanding of how to get past that wall. So sometimes a wall is put up for us that we didn't ask for. Women have had for centuries a wall that was put up for that they didn't ask for, that they wanted equality in the work world, that they wanted equality with opinions, they wanted equality sexually, right? Now, that's another show that we'll talk about with what they're doing with their new sexual liberation. That's a different show. But
I'm not going to answer. I'm not going to go in on that. Too long of a show already.
That's a different topic, but women wanted silk. Hey, I'm gonna use that as an example to y'all. You got your silk damn pajamas behind you. If Kate was behind you with a damn thong on Women in the Mic, you would be tripping right now. Huh?
Let's look at that. Yeah, let's look at it. Right now. If I'm on that sauce like y'all is, brother, and I'm sipping on it or whatever, we might turn this Women in the Mic into some damn porn. Women
wait a minute.
Well, hey, it's gonna say, what are the women gonna do with a mic?
Exactly. We might turn Women in the Mic. So, But
that's just a small example. I'm just saying, like, women had to fight to get their sexual liberation that we had the privilege of doing, right? So a lot of things have been put up for people to have to fight, and it's not nothing in their mind. It was a situation that they wasn't equipped with to learn how to overcome. Brother Kevin Norton, somebody that's from the military as well, you was given certain training that the U.S. citizen wasn't given. So when a bomb hits, you're going to know what to do based off your training behind when that bomb hits, when the natural citizen may not know how to react because of that. And that's just an example I'm giving. Can y'all follow up, brothers?
Mr. Marcus, what you doing over there? You trying to get your mic ready?
Whoa! We not going to say Mr. Marcus. Hold up, Mr. Marcus.
Listen, first of all, mind your business. Second of all, yeah, you hit the head. As far as the sexual liberation, we'll touch on that at another time. As far as how we move in the world, man, this is the most important piece. The way we move in the world is indicative of how we were brought up in this world, okay? How the different experiences that we have experienced in this world is how we're going to move forward in this world. So, insecurity aside, the funny thing about us is even with these insecurities, we are able to still overcome. The whole point in checking the mail on this particular portion is you can be insecure. You can be scared to death. I'm going to say that. You can be scared to death, but do it anyway. Do it scared. Do it insecure. Because at the end of the day, all we need to know is that you tried. We need to know that you gave it an attempt, that you actually reached out and you tried to do something to try to make this a better place.
Okay.
Yes. No
okay, so all right, so
go ahead.
We are in mail review overtime.
Yo.
Yeah, so let's finish this off with explaining before we get out of here. Shout out to everybody that's chiming in on the feed and the call-ins from Spicy. We want some more call-ins, by the way. We're not done. But how did you get past your biggest fear and your biggest insecurities, just to let everybody know what they could or what they should do to surpass insecurities and to surpass the issues that may have held them back? Because our insecurities hold us back from our own greatness. I can honestly say I could not be doing Yale Radiocast right now if I was worried about certain things in my life. I was worried about certain people and certain opinions of what they saw in my life. So what do you guys have to say about how you beat your biggest insecurity to get you to where you are now?
Pretty much like I said, man. Do it scared. Don't look. I didn't know what to expect going to the military. I didn't know what to expect moving from Chicago to Atlanta to a whole city I'd never been to. Didn't know a person here. Didn't know anybody here. I had a homeboy that I went to high school with that came down eventually. But I'm definitely going to a whole new city, whole new experience. I mean, that could be devastating. I'm leaving what I know to go do something completely different and something completely new. Do that shit anyway. That's the best way I can tell you to get over your insecurities. Do it anyway.
Do it anyway. Do that shit anyways. Okay. To y'all, what we got?
I would have to just go ahead and co-sign with my brother Markel. I would just say, honestly, I didn't get over my insecurities, but I dealt with it. I dealt with my insecurities. I didn't get over them per se because I still question my role as a father and what did I do. And I look back and I'm gonna be honest with you, brother, there's a lot of things that I did wrong. No matter how I hear my brother D telling me that I'm in my kid's life and I have done this and I have done that, I give him the same accolades because he has been in his kid's life their whole life. But as far as everything goes, I still have that same anxiety. Looking back at it, looking at the things that I've done wrong, I still have that anxiety, but I dealt with it. You know what I'm saying? Don't look so much as to get over things as much because you start explaining why you didn't get over it or whatever the case may be. Look at it as in I tried it. Like Markel just said, do it. Do it. If you have any anxiety, getting into business, dealing with a relationship, dealing with kids, do it. The worst thing you can say is I didn't try because of my fears. And that's all I got.
And I mean, just to cap on the same thing, pretty much like you said, brother. Just look, we are our own worst critics, TR. That's for damn sure. We're our own worst critics. So we always think, about something we could have done better after the fact, But the fact that we kept moving forward, the fact that we kept moving on, and I know that even if you made that mistake, subconsciously you had to improve upon it to move forward. I promise. I've talked to my sons about this all the time. Look, Daddy ain't perfect. Daddy does his best to try to provide. Daddy does his best to try to tell y'all the right information. If I mess up, being able to accept that, okay, that was wrong. Here's the right way to do it. That's all the bravery you need. And like you said, you don't really get over an insecurity, but what you do is you attack that insecurity. You use that to give you motivation to try to do better for yourself. That's how I feel.
Facts.
Brother Darling, what you got? You took your sip, so I'm thinking that you clean your throat or something. I don't know what it is.
Amazing. Because we had such a disagreeing point to y'all on what the women were saying earlier this morning. And I think that their final statement actually was, fuck what somebody else thinks. How connecting is that? Listen, and that doesn't mean totally don't worry about what somebody else thinks. But if you let somebody else determine your worth, then now we have a bigger problem. I think what we need to do is embrace the problem. We're going to have to fight whatever it is. You're going to have to say, F what they think. This is what I'm trying to do. Number one. Number two, this is a big moniker of mine when I say I congregate with like-minded people. Because those people around you are going to be the people that say you are doing good or you are doing bad. Let me help lift you up. That's the disconnect between the shows now and then. I think it got confused when somebody says, hey, you're doing this wrong or you're not doing this right. I need to help lift you up so you could be a better person. But you got to congregate with like-minded people who want to do better, who have better goals, who have bigger goals. And you're going to have to learn how to take a little bit of criticism. Something was said to me years ago, and they said, darling, you are underachieving. And that stuck with me. It stuck to my heart. And I had to use that as a motivational factor. Why? Because I knew I was underachieving. I wasn't able to pull the wool over nobody's eyes. So since everybody sees darling underachieving, now I have to get on my horse and get to the achievement level that's expected, that was expected, and that's still expected of me. Oh shoot, boy! Shout out to Kevin. Your insecurities are your wall. These are way too many avenues to learn how to educate yourself these days. To let those insecurities wall hold you back. You can't achieve greatness with fear. Exactly. I had to get past those fears. I had to get past what other people thought of me. I had to get past those opinions of myself. So I think we have to actually learn how to attack our insecurities.
I think you said it without fear, my brother. I think you said it without fear.
Yeah. Oh, I know I am. I'm just saying. You just didn't say fuck what people think part.
Right.
Fuck what people fuck y'all.
Yeah.
Did we set a F-bomb mark for the limit? We
yeah,
did.
You blew through that like 3 shows ago.
Yeah, we are doing better with the F-bomb. So, fellas.
Fuck, yes. I mean, my man.
What's the F-bomb limit? I didn't remember what the number is. 69. The F-bomb limit is 69. The universal number of 69. I think I'm at 68 and I owe you one. The rest of the F-bombs I owe you for 2022.
Right on, man.
Right.
No, but for real though, I think the best thing that's happened to me is I've learned to accept what is wrong with me. Some people can't even accept what's wrong with them. I've learned how to accept it. This is dialing. This is what you got to deal with. These are my flaws. Do you love me for my flaws? But I know I need to work on some of these flaws. And once you get to that point, you're like, okay, this is what you got. I'm working on it. You're either with it or you're not. But if you're not, cool. I understand it. You don't have to deal with it. Still want one of these Valentine's Day stories though. 678-586-921. I see Kevin chiming in on the chat. Call in and give your Valentine's Day story, brother. Shoot.
That's what I'm saying.
Old Twitter fingers ass. Old Twitter fingers. Let me see what. Enjoy your Valentine's Day from the Mail Review. Learn how to love the people around you. Hold up. Got another. Oh my God. How y'all all got signs and I don't got one?
You I say enjoy your BD. Enjoy your BD.
Oh. Enjoy your BD.
Enjoy your BD from the Mail Review. It's all love.
Kevin said I don't have a Valentine's Day story. Okay.
Yes, he do.
He do. I find it doubtful anybody don't have a Valentine's Day. Everybody
if he don't have,
right. You still our brother.
We are his Valentine's Day story then. I remember I was talking to her. It's gonna lead out with. So I was talking to these 3 black dudes.
He better hurry up and finish that story. Let me tell you.
Right. Right.
So it was the day before Valentine's Day, and I was talking to these 3 black men. One was an Army soldier, one was a Marine, and one was an Air Force guy.
It all went bad.
That's all bad.
The only thing that's missing is a priest and a rabbi.
That's
it.
Hey man,
Hey,
shout out to everybody. Thank y'all for tuning in to the Male Review, logging on to us. This is our first virtual show. I think it went pretty good, outside of the fact that Markel wasn't on the stream for whatever reason. I guess his audio had that VD that he was talking about enjoying. I don't know what happened with that, but no, he had the Obama phone. The Obama phone wasn't working no more. The Obama phone with this new technology.
And I will say this, our brother Josh, he didn't call in, he didn't do nothing. We know you sleep, brother. You had some business to take care of and everything. We missed you. That's, we are brothers. We're the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. When our legs was missing, but we send a shout out to you, brother. We send a shout out to Women in the Mic, Rap Analytics. Check us out on RTV. Dude, we are doing big things. Look at us on that big TV on the Fire Stick and the Roku and see how crazy Mr. Markel's face looks on a big screen. I think honestly you will be amazed. It is a difference.
Hey, and don't forget, check out RTV so we can see Brother TR out here pretending like he is the Black Jack Sparrow.
You listen, on RTV, you really do not understand that the tint of those silk underwear behind him are not velvet, but they are pink.
No, they're not.
See.
Don't kill my vibe. Don't kill my vibe.
He is pinky when he gets off the stream.
I'm gonna give it to somebody. The only thing I'm missing is being naked, but I'm afraid that. I'm afraid that for home myself. Naked with a guitar, and I made a song about it. Like here it goes.
Oh
No. So once again, everybody, thank you for tuning in to the Male Review. This is very entertaining. We will be back in the studio within the next week or so. We do our shows every Saturday, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. And as TR said, shout out to the Yale Radiocast family, Rap Analytics, Women in the Mic, and the other shows to come. 2021, we are hot. And you can catch us on RTV. For those who are listening, I need you to go to Roku and Fire Stick. I know everybody has one because ain't nobody paying for cable no more. Y'all need to go download RTV, and you need to actually subscribe to RTV. We need these numbers. When you getting, we can't talk the numbers. The numbers is looking good.
Not yet. The numbers aren't solidified, and we're non-monetized. But when you tune in, understand one thing: you're going to get the experience. We have a video show coming up. We have a After Dark show coming up. We can't talk much about that, but when our family members, it's just to light it up. And look, it's gonna get hot. All we asking y'all to do is take the journey with us. Am I right, brothers?
Hey, you are right, man. So follow everything on the Yale Radiocast. Go to YaleRadiocast.com. You will see exactly everything you need to see from Yale Radiocast and the whole Yale Radiocast family. Thank you for tuning in to the Male Review. If you have a topic, hit us up. That's all I got to say. We're going to keep it moving. Shout out to Josh, the intern. Shout out to everybody who's supporting and listening. Once again, that call in is 678-586-9241. And you already know what the motto is. Markel, go ahead and show that one time.
Get the business.
Yale Radiocast.